Namaste and welcome everyone. It is me, Nina Sachs from Natural Living with Nina and Yoga Awakening Africa. And today I am joined, I should calm down and breathe, by Anja Maritz. How are you, Anja? You are on the outskirts of Cape Town and it looks like it is beautiful there today.
Thank you. Yes, yeah, I'm well, thank you. Also breathing.
Yeah. So it was quite funny. My husband's like, make use. These are the last 2 cold days in Mozambique. It's from tomorrow. It is like warming up. You're going to 25 degrees and like summer is going to hit you full on. So I'm like, okay, last day to make use of scarf. And like my mom knitted me like a cool little headgear. So I'm like, okay, this is really the last day that I can make use of these goodies before it's going to be like string tops and cool clothes. So that's my side, my story at the moment. But what I'm more excited to chat about to you today is your journey with Blissful Kids that you started. So how about giving us like an intro into kind of like how you got into yoga, why yoga for kids, what is Blissful Yoga for Kids, like what are you all about and what do you do?
I'll just, yeah, that's just a little question.
Just a little question.
Yeah, I think I actually I wanted to become a preschool teacher.
Wow.
That's how it all started. And I did a little kids yoga course. And that's the direction I ended up taking. I just, everything about it was something that I could relate to within my childhood. And I think, yeah, like a lot of what I've learned through yoga, I think about if I'd had those tools growing up, how different might I have dealt with things, the anxiety, the stress, the friendship dramas that happen as a child. Well, I mean, yeah.
And we as parents, or I'm not a parent, but I mean, I know like many parents, often we forget that that is actually such a serious thing for kids, this idea of like, stress that they have with friends. Like as an outsider, you just think, oh, it's an, you from in kind of like a bird's eye view, it's such a small little insignificant thing in maybe an adult world, but for a kid, it is such a pertinent thing when they're having problems with their friends and the amount of mental anxiety and stress it creates for them.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we as adults kind of go back and try and fix with our inner child work, right? So it's not like you can prevent that, but you can give tools to kind of move through it. We can't stop any of our childhood trauma, but we can certainly just help dealing with it. And if you don't have those tools, if you haven't been exposed to them, yeah, it's just that's why I always wonder how different my life would have been
with that. Yeah,
and I think that's yeah. Sorry, it's a thread with a lot of adults that I see wanting to work with kids. Is that link,
Yeah. And it's so true. And I think we see it so often. And I think that one of the big things that is missing, like in school curriculums and things like that, is actually how to assist kids in navigating the emotional aspects of life. Like school is very, very good in teaching you like your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s and like a structured format, but it doesn't actually really give you that much support in navigating like how to operate in a social setting and how to navigate your emotions, and how when you're feeling hurt, when you're feeling upset, when you're feeling disappointed, like how can you express those? How can you express those in a healthy manner? And how can you allow the energy to move through you and out of you so that it doesn't become like we call when added, like we have to deal with the shadow issues that we maybe didn't deal with, childhood traumas that we didn't deal with, later in life. And how much more healthy would all of us be if we would have had these coping mechanisms as a kid, as a young teen, as an adolescent. So I can totally see like why you find that it's such an important part, because I don't think the schools, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not in the school system, but I don't think the school system teaches these kind of things.
No, I think they've gotten better since we were at school. They're like a little bit more open to mindfulness and things like that. But it's not as you would think that people would be more open to it by now, especially in Cape Town. There's such a big yoga following. There's so much exposure to it. So, but it's definitely picked up since I started doing this so long ago. Like, I had a school in an area that I wouldn't have assumed would be interested in yoga contact me a couple of weeks ago. So they must be reading something or being exposed to the benefits of it somehow within the school system, which is amazing.
That is amazing. And I was chatting with an accountability buddy yesterday, and we were just saying, sometimes we get disillusioned or disappointed in the work that we're doing, because often when we're an initiator, in the sense that, we see that something is really useful or helpful to people, to the planet, it takes a while for everyone to grasp the concept and then to go with it. But when they have, then they do go with it. And I kind of feel like that's where yoga is at the moment. It's taken quite a while for people to grasp it, but now it's like every Tom, Dick, and Harry knows about yoga and is willing to try it or has tried it. And like you say, it's taken freaking 20 years for the schools to make it something normal, or that that it is. Yeah, it's
accepted. And it's not this weird religion. I think a lot of people think it is. It's just like a way of living, really. Yeah,
exactly. So tell me, Anja, like Blissful Kids, what is that about? What do you do with it? So someone who has no idea, what is it all about? And what is your role in
that? So I found this Blissful Kids, I think it was 2013 or so. Started the business, and then Yanni joined me a couple years later, 3 or 4 years later, my business partner. And the concept of it was bringing art and creativity into the yoga as well. So it's not just about the physical and the, I suppose, emotional aspects of yoga, but how art or being creative can link into that as well, because there's a lot of similar benefits to it. Linked benefits, and plus it's lots of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, not just as adults do we need fun, but kids definitely do need to have more fun. So you're linking kind of like the art with the yoga. And so are you training yoga teachers who want to delve deeper into kind of like teaching kids yoga, training them? Or is it more kind of like for teachers in preschools, or I don't know, junior schools, high schools? Like who are you training, who are you teaching, who are you working with? Because I know you don't have a studio at the moment that you're teaching from. So you're running more like workshops and things like that.
Yeah, we've got our teacher trainings, our kids yoga teacher trainings, which are in person and online. It's quite a lovely journey, you call it a teacher training, but it's really like a self-development experience. That's my favorite part about that's my favorite part about it, that everyone goes on this journey. And then we also have our parent and child workshops, which are just a couple of hours of yoga and art and fun for both mama and child.
Okay, and what age groups kind of like do that?
It's usually 5 to 11. I've got my workshops running. And then, the interesting thing with the parents, because they don't often connect to their creative side. So it's so lovely to see them open up and explore. And, we work on the floor, so they really like tap into that inner child, like picking colors. And it's a really beautiful thing to watch and experience and kind of facilitate.
And there's like some kind of like moms, or I mean, I'm not just saying moms, but it could be moms or dads, parents who come and work with their kids. Like, what kind of things have you heard them say afterwards about the workshop in that regard, with regards to like that, creativity, fun, being inner child, opening up to that inner child? Like, what have some of them said to you afterwards?
It's not really that they say anything in a sentence. It's more like their whole being, you know, the big smiles and the little walking out with their kids. And it's like that experience of the connection that they've had. They don't really have to say anything.
So you see the transformation in them.
You can see it in their faces when they leave with their artwork and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously all the big thank yous and that relaxation as well. You know, when your nervous system has had an opportunity to just let go and relax, and you can literally just see it on their faces, in their bodies. Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. And I mean, that must be so rewarding in itself to see the shift from, obviously, I'm assuming when most parents arrive, you know, like stressed, busy, probably rushing to get there. Maybe they had other kids they had to drop off at places, you know, or, you know, I don't know, parents that they themselves had to sort out, or. So they probably arrive in a bit of a tiz, and then kind of like by the end, it sounds like, you know, everyone is walking on rainbows and sunshine. Yeah. Cool. So Anja, last question with regards to that, like how do you feel that,
oh my goodness,
sorry, did your internet conk out there for a moment?
Yeah, we bummed out a little second there.
All good, we're back again.
Cool, yay.
So I suppose kind of like last question with regards to that, like the yoga and the teaching yoga, was there anything else is what I wanted to ask with like parents and kids workshops? You've got the teacher training that you're going for kids. Anything else that you're offering at the moment?
We're offering. Well, we are going to be introducing a Bringing Yoga Home workshop, which is kind of like a condensed version of our teacher training, you know, for parents that don't necessarily want to learn how to teach yoga, but do want to start bringing some of the practices in at home. That's what we're working on at the moment.
Cool.
And then related to that is bringing yoga into the classroom, which is the same concept of just like a condensed version of the training.
Awesome. Well, we'll delve into that a little bit more in a moment. But anyway, for now, I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving us insight into you and to what Blissful Kids is all about. And I'm sure it's given like the listeners a little insight as well as to, you know, that there is someone out there who's passionate about kids and yoga and wants to bring it to the world, and that they can then at least get hold of you and find out when your trainings are and when the next workshops and events are taking place. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Nina.